to go over the movement, the promise, the campaign promise to do away with taxes on Social Security benefits. And we're not talking about FICA taxes that everybody pays when you're working, through your W-2 or 1099, your 1040, or whatever the case may be. We're talking about those people receiving Social Security benefits, retirement benefits, disability benefits, survivor, spouse benefits, whatever the case may be, and having to pay taxes. About 40 to 50% of people don't even pay taxes on their Social Security. If all you receive is Social Security benefits, then you're not paying taxes on Social Security. I've got a link in my YouTube description to the IRS website where you can go in there, you click on it, and you put in the numbers, how much you're receiving from Social Security, and then how much you're receiving from other income, and it'll tell you whether you're going to pay taxes on Social Security benefits. But a good 40% or so of people, Americans on Social Security, do not pay taxes on Social Security. But for those that do, there was a campaign promise made to end those taxes on Social Security. So let's talk about how that is going. Anything like that, it has to pass through the House of Representatives, go to the Senate, and then be passed by the president. That is not something the president can do by an executive order. It has to go through regular channels. And it's starting to go through regular channels, at least the start of it. We've actually have 3 bills by 3 different House of Representatives, actually 2 representatives and 1 senator. So we've got Senator Tommy Tuberville of Alabama, a representative from Kentucky, and another representative from New York. So 3 bills, 2 of them are the same. It's a bill to amend the Internal Revenue Code of 1986 to repeal the inclusion in gross income of Social Security benefits. That's political speak for no taxes on your Social Security benefits. It depends on what other income you make. You could pay 50% of your Social Security check could be taxable. If you make a higher amount, up to 85% of your Social Security check can be taxable. That doesn't mean you're going to pay 50% taxes on that or 85% taxes. If you're in the 85% category and your tax rate is 30%, then you'll pay 30% on 85% of your taxes. So those 2 first ones there, the repeal of the inclusion in gross income, 1 in the Senate, 1 in the House. And so far, those were introduced pretty much the same day, February 6th. And the other one is just to increase the exclusion. So a higher limit to trigger taxes on Social Security benefits. So if you're looking to no longer pay taxes on your Social Security benefits, which those were started back in the 1980s under Reagan, the Greenspan Commission, in order to shore up Social Security because they realized that Social Security, because of the baby boomers and everything, the baby boomers put a bunch of money into the Social Security Trust Fund. This was part of that money going into the Social Security Trust Fund, and they needed to shore it up because the trust fund is one day going to run out. And that is the fact. It is still going to run out. It's still going to be depleted. We're looking at about 2033 or 2034 cuts across the board. No grandfathering in or anything like that. Well, I'm already receiving benefits, so it's just the new people who will be hurt. No, Social Security Act is not written like that. Social Security can only pay out what it receives. So if it receives, 80% of what needs to be paid out, it can only pay out those 80%. And if this actually is, so if the no taxes on Social Security, if that's passed, it's actually going to put more of a strain on the Social Security Trust Fund. So it's always interesting. I do a live Q&A pretty much every day, 3:00 West Coast time, 6:00 East Coast time, where I help people navigate the entire bureaucracy of Social Security, make sure they get everything they're entitled to and everything they're earned from retirement, survivor benefits, spouse disability, and all the rest of it. And people always say that, that's good. It's going to help me so much when I don't have to pay taxes, and ask them well, they don't even pay taxes, but they're supporting this, and it's actually going to hurt them because 40% don't pay taxes, but those 40% are going to get their benefits cut sooner because those taxes actually go into the Social Security Trust Fund. So let's see here. So this is 2023. The numbers for 2024 have not come out yet. So in 2023, we got $1.1 trillion of income. That, majority of that, vast majority of that is from FICA taxes, people working and paying into FICA every paycheck. 49.8 billion of that comes to taxes, those taxes on Social Security. So if you no longer tax Social Security benefits, then you've got $50 billion of extra money you have to find from somewhere. And because the Social Security is, the Social Security Trust Fund is put into regular, treasury bonds, and the government owes, they pay a interest on that. We actually get $63 billion in interest from that. That goes into it. But the problem is 1.1 trillion comes in, about 1.2 trillion goes out. So this much comes in, that much goes out. What fills the gap? The Social Security Trust Fund. So in 2023, $70 billion was taken out of the savings, which the baby boomers and others put into that savings, and 70 billion was taken out and put in people's paychecks. And right now we have about 2.6 trillion remaining. In 2024, probably 80, 90, 100 billion was taken out. This year in 2025, another, 80, 90, 100, 110 billion are going to be taken out. And just like any savings, you keep taking money out of that savings, it eventually is going to be depleted. And when is it going to be depleted? Exactly there. And at that time, there's no more money to cover that gap. Social Security can only pay what it receives in. And why do I put this little donation thing down there? Because politicians have been trying to trick us for years and saying, hey, it's all fake money, it's all IOUs, yada, yada, yada. And the dead people that are 150-year-old collecting Social Security. I've talked about that many a times. There's all kinds of tricks and distractions politicians have been trying to, trick us with over the last few decades on both sides of the political aisle, to distract us so we won't focus on the big issue of actually solving Social Security. They just, make us attack each other, or, some fake news or whatever the case may be. And so those people that say the trust fund is just fake money and it's all IOUs and it's, monopoly money or whatever the case may be, I always say, well, since probably about 8, 9, 10% of your check that you received this month came out of that fake money, then if you don't believe that's fake money, if you believe that's fake money, then donate it. Animal shelter, some type of shelter, or, charity of who of your liking. And because you don't think that's real money, but those people that receive that money, I'm sure they will appreciate it. So make sure you donate that money if you think it's fake money. Again, it's just politicians trying to, distract us so we won't focus on it. The ultimate goal is, once we get closer and closer to these dates, then we'll surrender to anything. And what is the ultimate goal? You can read in my YouTube description. I've got the game book down there that was written in the 1980s. This has all been planned out. The game is to eventually give all of this money over to Wall Street, privatize it, give it to the billionaire buddies. Politicians get a kickback. They gamble it on Wall Street or real estate or whatever the case may be. And if we get our money back eventually, then hey, if you need help with Medicare, Medicare Advantage, Medicare supplements, Part D plans, make sure you reach out to my partners at Chapter of Medicare. I looked for a place that would help y'all out, and Chapter of Medicare knocked it out of the park. They've got excellent customer service. They look at every single plan in your area, and their help is always 100% free. Give them a call, and they'll see if they can help you out, and tell them Dr. Ed said hi. Maybe. So that's the game. Okay, I want to do I did a live Q&A and I ran out of time. I didn't have time to answer some questions. One of the questions was about a thing called independently entitled divorced spouse benefits. And it's a mouthful. Basically, there's a lot of people out there, divorced spouses, who think they have to wait until their ex-spouse receives Social Security benefits. That is not true. As long as their ex-spouse is at least 62 years old and you're at least 62 yourself, and you've been married, you've been divorced for at least 2 years. You had to have the final divorce for 2 years. then you can get benefits on your ex's record regardless if they have filed. Again, it's called independently entitled divorced spouse benefits. Again, you have to start benefits on your own record. Your previous spouse does not have to start benefits. Just as long as they're 62, the regular requirements, apply. You had to have been married to that person for 10 years. But in terms of the independently entitled divorced spouse, you also had to be divorced for 2 years in order to start those benefits. So one of the problems that I tell people of that on my live Q&A all the time, and they go down to the local Social Security office, and the people in the front off in the front, or the people pick up the phones, they're not what's called Title II claim specialists. Before I became a district manager, I was a Title II claim specialist that specialized in retirement and all that. Those people know, but the people at the front window, sometimes they don't know, and they say, no, your ex has to be receiving benefits for you to receive benefits, and they're sent away and they lose money all their lives. So no, you just say, hey, independent, it's called IEDS, independently entitled divorced spouse. I want to talk to a Title II CS, a Title II of the Social Security Act claim specialist, and they'll know exactly what you're talking about and get you some extra money. And please, my channel, our community is all about, finding about all the programs, helping people navigate the bureaucracy, and then going out and helping all their friends, relatives, neighbors, little old lady down the street. And we find money for people every single day. So make sure you reach out. Okay, another question is about wasting money on Medicare. Too many people are getting Medicare at 65 that should not get Medicare at 65. If you're currently receiving Social Security benefits, you will be automatically signed up for Medicare once you hit 65, about 3 months before you reach your 65th birthday. If you're currently receiving benefits, retirement benefits, surviving spouse benefits, whatever, Medicare will automatically send you your card. If you have health insurance from current work, not retirement, not the Affordable Care Act, not a COBRA, but it has to be through current work, yours or your spouse's, and that workplace has 20 or more employees in that group health plan, then you do not have to get Medicare. If you're currently receiving benefits, you have to get A. That's mandatory, but it's zero premium. But you do not have to get Part B. You can refuse Part B, save yourself $185. When you stop, you or your spouse stop working 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, then you go ahead and sign up for Part B, no penalty whatsoever. If you're not receiving benefits and you're approaching 65 and you want to sign up, then you actually have to reach out and sign up, and you can go online or call the 800 number, whatever the case may be, and sign up for those benefits. If you don't want them, you're happy with your current health insurance, your employer is not making you sign up for Medicare. Sometimes they do that, so definitely check with your HR. But you don't want it, you've got health insurance through current work, then you do not have to contact Social Security. We used to have people call up Social Security. Oh yeah, I'm 65. I don't want it. I'm not receiving benefits. But I don't want you to send me a Medicare. Oh yeah. You do not have to call up Social Security in that particular case. You just don't do anything. And then again, same situation when you turn 67, 70, 75, 80, and you stop working, then you go ahead and sign up for Part A and Part B. No penalties whatsoever. You just have to. There's a couple of forms you fill out. One of those forms you take down to your HR, and they fill it out, and they say, yes, this person had health insurance from work since they turned 65. Don't penalize them. And if you need help with all things Medicare, because once you get signed up for Part A and Part B, they're great, but there's a lot of gaps. Medicare Part B has a 20% gap in there. You have to pay 20% of everything co-insurance. So that's why people either get a Medicare supplement, or which are the ones I recommend, a Plan N or a Plan G. That way you don't have any networks or prior authorizations, or always check out that first. And if it's not right for you, usually it's a budget issue. But if it's not right for you, then go to a Medicare Advantage and find the one that covers your doctors and your prescriptions and saves you the most money on medical. And then look for all the, the cute little bells and whistles that they add on to those programs. But go to the Medicare supplement first. And again, if it's not right for you, it's not right for you. Then go down to a Medicare Advantage. Make sure you get a Part D plan and check out your drugs and all that. And again, Chapter can help you out there. Those are the people we partnered with, and they can help you out. Completely free service. If you're in a Medicare Advantage and you want to switch, now's the time to do it. January, February, March. If you want to go back to original Medicare and get a Medicare supplement, you might be able to do that depending on your state. And health underwriting, you might have to go health underwriting. If you're 65, you don't have to go through health underwriting. If you're new to Medicare Part B, you don't have to go through health underwriting, get a Medicare supplement. The whole thing is complicated. I've done many videos, but they can help you through the entire process. All right. So hopefully we'll see you in my live Q&A, and we'll see you there.